welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com.
Well, in today's news, Willock calls governors alleged stance to invoke Section 103 of the Constitution to pay his upcoming legal fees mind-boggling. And he says protesters should be marching against this act. And screening facility being considered for the Anegada airport. I will allow on-island COVID-19 tested for inbound air travelers. We also see Dr. Mathavious to be honored at Global Currents Conference this evening for his legacy in the BVI financial services industry. And finally, we also have joining us live in studio is one of the organizers of this year's Christmas in the Caribbean event, Mrs. Dawn Leonard, which is being presented by ZKING Radio. We get to these and more stories when 284 News return.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new season of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangada, Jackson Lake, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Thursday, November 18th, 2021. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. A happy Thursday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, we start with news where the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Julian Willock, says he finds it to be mind-boggling that none of the protesters are taking a stance against Governor John Rankin for his alleged threat to pay his attorney fees through the Consolidated Fund if the cost is not covered by the government. Well, Willock made the comments while speaking as a guest on the Umojus talk show recently, where he publicly spoke about his legal case for the first time since the ruling was handed down by the Supreme High Court.
Another thing here, what I find very interesting also, is that His Excellency the Governor, he will, in a couple of days, be cross-examined by the executive branch lawyer. And he is now asking for an independent lawyer and allegedly making threats that if the government of the Virgin Islands don't pay for that, he will invoke Section 103 of the Constitution. You know what Section 103 of the Constitution said?
Yes.
He can go into a consolidated fund. Why is that not upsetting to anyone?
Well,
That the House of Assembly members kicking up, they can't get legal representation. The executive branch, they're kicking up, they can't get legal representation. But not one iota of word said when the governor. Now I can't go into the consolidated fund and say pay the $80,000 or whatever it is, but the governor can do that. But that is fine with some of the protesters.
Yeah,
I find that to be mind-boggling.
Well, in the meantime, Speaker Willock also made it clear that the filing of his injunction was never to halt the COI proceedings, but to have the three attorneys, Bill Ararat, Andrew King, and Rhea Harksoon, replaced from conducting their duties within the COI until the October 26th judgment was handed down.
Judge Vicky and Ellis ruled that we had standing because we were participants in the Commission of Inquiry. So therefore, she set a date for October 26th for the hearing on all objections.
okay.
Then around July, August, we got a press release that the Commission of Inquiry were now starting again in September, I think September 6th. So we were advised that, by our lawyers, that what we needed to do was file an injunction. And I think, I don't think the Deputy Speaker participated in that one. I think it was just me alone, where we filed an injunction, because everything was moving so fast, to say to the three lawyers, if you're coming back, we don't want you to continue practicing or continue allegedly breaking the law. We need you to hold off until the hearing. You can get 3 new lawyers get them called to the bar, and continue your work. At no time were we trying to stop the Commission of Inquiry. Okay. The House of Assembly have said in no uncertain terms that we are committed to cooperating. As you see, the members were dragged before the Commission of Inquiry. Everybody cooperated.
So, Willock also said that information received from close sources indicate that the COI attorneys may likely complete the remainder of the COI proceedings virtually from the United Kingdom. Well, he said this move goes against the initial October 26 court proceeding that was to determine whether the 3 attorneys were indeed practicing in the BVI illegally. Well, this court hearing, according to Willock, was postponed and has not yet been rescheduled.
I have to talk to the attorneys later on today because the case was supposed to be held on October 26th. They had asked for an extension, and it's my understanding also that they were leaving the country on the day that they asked for the extension. So the whole thing now is up in the air. There are rumors that they are planning on withdrawing their application and staying in England and finishing off in England. Oh, okay. Now that again is in its own self is a travesty because it will speak volume to the respect they have for our judicial system. Mm-hmm. These are the folks who are saying that the BVI is corrupt, that the ministers of government and all of us, both present and former, break laws, didn't follow procedures. Mm-hmm. You remember all the things that they've said in the Commission of Inquiry. And here you are now, who are here judging us. You are actually doing the same thing. But to some, that is fine. Commonwealth. Mm-hmm. To some, that is fine. But again, we have 110, 120 persons up at Her Majesty's prison who is accused of breaking the law. We must have one judicial system. Whether you like the speaker, you don't like the speaker, that is at heart. That is the core. That is the issue. Whether the speaker pays out of his private pocket or the government pays, that debate is healthy. But the bigger issue here for our people is whether we are willing to build a society, whether we're able to march for a society where the judicial system applies to all, whether we're ready to seek out to say we want justice for every man, woman, and boy in this country. That's the issue at hand.
Well, viewers, the Speaker Willock said that this is one of the main reasons he initially brought the proceedings before the law courts, adding that no man is above the BVI's constitution and every person should be made to abide by these laws. Viewers, we will keep you updated as more comes to light regarding the development of this particular story. Well, moving on, viewers, the Augusta George International Airport on Anegada may have its own screening facility in the near future to allow inbound COVID-19 testing for required travelers. Our Premier and Minister for Finance and Tourism, Andrew Foy, made a statement during his recent 2022 budget speech where he announced a number of plans for the airport on Anegada, along with plans for the Taddy Bay International Airport on Virgin Gorda and the Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport on Beef Island, Tortola. What the Premier said that the screening facility is in the conceptualization stage at this present moment, but once rolled out will complement the work that is presently being done to have the Anegada Airport up to international standards.
In recent months, the Airports Authority has taken the necessary steps to ensure that the runway in Anegada is not only lit, but is in line with the required regulations, standards, and recommended practices for the industry. This will ensure the possibility of safe medical evacuations around the clock and allow for commercial operations in the international airport on Anegada after dark, allowing guests from the mainland to be able to fly to Anegada during the short winter days of the peak tourist season. To further facilitate this initiative, the Airports Authority, in conjunction with Health, are evaluating the possibility of installing a screening facility at the airport so that international flights can be screened on island instead of having to stop at Beef Island to do the necessary COVID-19 tests before being allowed to integrate into the community. Anegada deserves their share of the economic pie, and Anegada will get their share. We are making it more convenient for our international guests coming to Anegada, both by land and sea, thereby generating business for the people of Anegada.
Our Premier Foy, who is also the Finance Minister, said that the Airports Authority is close to reopening the Taddy Bay International Airport in terms of completion with a COVID-19 testing facility in time for Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, the tourism minister also disclosed that the more than 2-decade-old restriction on single-engine aircrafts in the sister islands has been lifted. Well, he said this will help to welcome more direct flights of small aircraft into these sister islands.
Residents and tourism and business interests on the sister island can also look forward to more flights as a result of close communication with Airport Safety Support International ASI for the lifting of the single-engine aircraft restriction that has been in place at the airport for over 20 years. The lifting of this restriction will, for example, allow the single-engine aircraft flown by companies such as Tradewind Aviation to operate into the airport. What does this mean? More people coming directly to Virgin Gorda by air and by sea, more economic activity, more persons being employed, more entrepreneurs, and Virgin Gorda being back to where it was and always will be, the capital of tourism in the Virgin Islands.
Our viewers, Premier Foy also revealed that in the area of aviation, steps have been taken for the establishment of the Civil Aviation Department in the Virgin Islands. Well, he said one benefit of this is that individuals will be able to register their aircraft in the BVI's jurisdiction, which means that there will be new revenues for the territory. Well, viewers, up next, Dr. Mathavious to be honored at Global Currents Conference this evening for the legacy in the BVI financial service industry. This and more after a word from our sponsors.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome back, viewers. A pioneer of the BVI financial services industry, Dr. Robert Mathavious, who recently retired as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the BVI Financial Services Commission, has been the highlight of the week as he was honored over the last few days at several events, which will culminate with the Global Currents Conference this evening. Well, Global Currents, a 2-day event, started on Wednesday, November 17th, with a black tie gala at Scrub Island Resort, and will continue into today, November 18th, at the BVI International Arbitration Center with informative keynotes and panel discussions from BVI-based and international industry professionals. Well, topics to be covered include global tax in an era of increased nationalism, global Britain, talent management, trends in key markets, and centers of excellence, which looks to the future of the BVI. Well, conference coordinator Mrs. Lorna Smith, OBE, commented on the significance of the conference, which has since been sold out, stating, and I quote, "While we believe it is fitting to have such a conference to honor Robert's monumental contribution to our largest economic sector in keeping with who he is, the conference looks ahead to continue the work of our internationally renowned industry," end quote. A conference committee member, Gareth Thomas, further detailed what those attending will experience at the event this evening.
We started planning this about 20 months ago, but due to COVID, we had a few setbacks on timing. But fortunately, as soon as we put word out to the leading authorities internationally, regionally, and locally about this conference being a dedication to Robert, but also in terms of the way forward, nobody wavered in their support of coming forward to be part of it. So we're very fortunate. We've got a great lineup of speakers and panelists for the event on Thursday. And they range from international leading regulators, economists, lawyers, also a great cadre of speakers coming from the region to support Robert. As well as a whole host of excellent cadre of local talent that will be on show tomorrow. So we've got a wonderful lineup of subject areas, very topical. We've got global tax, which, as you know, you would have seen a lot of in the press in relation to the global tax initiatives. We have Global Britain, which is very timely, following the UK's exit from the EU. We have Centres of Excellence. We have Asia Trends, Talent Management, to name but a few. But we've got some excellent people coming from abroad, which we're very excited about. And we've been very fortunate that the Financial Services Commission provided some seed money to get the conference off the ground. But with the overwhelming support of the financial services sector, who straight away wanted to be part to help get this off the ground in terms of sponsorship. We've had overwhelming support there from our private sector colleagues.
Indeed.
Well, viewers, the conference is also a fundraising event which will raise funds to be used for scholarships for residents wishing to enter the financial services industry or up-level their skills through the Financial Services Institute at the H. Laverty Stout Community College. Dr. Mathavious, while speaking at the Meet the Regulator Forum on Tuesday, November 16th, said he considered himself to be the luckiest man on earth to be honored and recognized for something he passionately did for over the last 2 decades.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth to be recognized and honored for the work that I was specifically trained for, paid for, lived for, cherished, and passionately enjoyed. It simply does not get better than this. But you do not get to a position like this alone. Many, many people in both the public and private sectors, far to numerous dimensions, have contributed to any success I may have had or I may have been credited for, and I will forever be indebted to them. I merely stand on the shoulders of the staff I have been privileged to work with over the years at the Ministry of Finance, the Financial Investigation Agency, the Financial Services Institute, and the Financial Services Commission. They are and have been the unsung heroes and sheroes of the success. They too much share in any accolades, honors, and rewards I receive. In truth and in fact, they have been the wind beneath my wings. It is they who have raised me up to far more than I ever thought I could be. They who bore the burdens of the day while offering me the opportunity to get the glory. So it is in a representative capacity that I, on their behalf, accept your generous sentiments.
Well, Dr. Mathavious said he has now completed his journey and has since passed the baton on to a younger generation, which he is confident can continue to make the BVI proud beyond previous achievements.
Run the course. I have completed my leg of the race and have willingly handed off to a new generation of well-prepared, well-trained, extremely competent, and battle-tested leaders. The baton for the management and stewardship of the industry has been passed to a new team, led by Kenneth Baker. I trust that you will give them no less respect and support than you gave me. As an optimist and a futurist, I believe that the future of the industry can be better and even more productive than its past. I believe that more than anything else, our success in the future as a country or as an industry will depend on capable and transformational leadership and on highly performing, highly motivated, and differentiated service excellence that leverages our strengths and builds on our past successes. With goodwill and cooperation of all stakeholders, we can do this. We must do it.
Well, the financial services pioneer also warned that the journey ahead will not be the easiest, but encouraged all stakeholders to keep persevering as the task is one that can be achieved.
And we are not yet out of the woods. Old habits die hard, and we have come too far now to turn back. Renewed efforts by all with a stake in the industry is now necessary. Yes, you must ensure that our offerings remain relevant and they continue to meet the legitimate needs of the discriminating clientele that we seek to serve. And crucially, we must ensure that all we do remains compliant. In that sense, we have been here before, but today's world demands no less of us than yesterday's. In an increasingly hostile competitive environment for the type of businesses we seek to attract to our shores, we will be called upon to do more than ever before to preserve, protect, defend, and enhance our image as a center for the conduct of legitimate international business. We will need to train and retrain, to upskill and reskill, to leverage technology, and to find new markets for our offerings.
Well, viewers, Dr. Mathavious has had a 25-year career as a civil servant, during which he served as Deputy Financial Secretary from 1990 to 1985. As 1980 to 1985, Financial Secretary from 1985 to 1991, and Director of Financial Services from 1993 to 2001. In January 2002, he assumed the post of Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, where he retired from that post on December 31st, 2020. I would like to wish him all the best here from 284 Media. Well, viewers, up next, joining us live in studio is one of the organizers of this year's Christmas in the Caribbean event, Mrs. Dawn Leonard, which is being presented by ZKING Radio. Well, we get to this story after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back, viewers. Well, joining me live in studio is one of the organizers of this year's Christmas in the Caribbean event, Mrs. Dawn Leonard, which is being presented by ZKING Radio. Well, the event is scheduled for Sunday, December 19th at the Queen Elizabeth II Park from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Well, welcome, Mrs. Leonard.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, no problem. Obviously, we're here to talk about this event. Is the first first time hosting the event.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what would have inspired the event firstly before we get into the actual event.
Well, you know, we've gone through Corona, you know, the pandemic, and we just thought that ZKING could engage the community in a way where we could bring this kind of entertainment and also provide an opportunity for business persons to earn some money.
Okay, so let's talk about the event. Obviously the event is the 19th of December. I have it here right in front of me.
Yes.
I see there are several competitions that will be hosted throughout the day. There's Best Christmas Entree, Best Christmas Side Dish, Best Christmas Dessert, Best Christmas Beverage and Drink, and also Christmas Cookie Bake Off. Let's talk about what will happen on the day of the 19th.
Okay, so what we're hoping will happen on that day in regards to the two competitions that we're having, we're hoping to highlight Caribbean Christmas foods from the various countries. So we're hoping that persons will register to present their dishes and they'll be judged. And then we'll announce who has the best entree, side dish, dessert, or drink in this through this competition.
I'll talk about I know obviously I would have been introduced to this event by just perusing in town, and I saw some kids handing out flyers and stuff. Tell me how the outreach have been so far from the public regarding the event.
Okay, so we have had lots of persons interested and called. Some have registered already in terms of registering as vendors. So we want vendors to continue registering, obviously, to make the whole event a success. We need the vendors because we really want to highlight Caribbean food that we celebrate Christmas with. And so we've had a number of persons call that are interested, and quite a few who have registered already. The competition is dragging a little bit though. I don't know why persons are so shy to register for the competitions, because we have so many bakers in the BVI. Indeed. And they're so good, so we're hoping that it will catch on, and that part of it would catch on, and they would register for the competitions.
Well, you spoke to the fact that there are a number of persons who have so far registered as vendors. Could you tell me a number per se of persons who would have been calling, asking to be vendors of the event?
We've had more than 20 callers and maybe about 10 persons registered already. Yeah. So
about 50% of the callers, overall callers, basically registering. Yeah. And just give us a layout, for those persons who know what the Queen Elizabeth II part looks like. Just give us a layout of what they can expect come Sunday, the 19th of November.
So we're definitely partnering with a local business to have the park decorated Christmas, and we're going to have it in a sea. In the main area, right in front of what we will call the stage, where that cabana is. So there's a sea right outside in the grassy area, not when you enter, further in. And so the vendors will form a sea, and then we'll have a tent in the middle because it will be hot, So that gives the persons who are attending, participating, a little reprieve from the sun. And we'll have different stalls under the various cabanas. Actually, ZKING will hold those because we're also offering face painting. We'll have a bouncy castle as well for the kids, just to have some fun while they're there as well.
And I see the schedule start from 10:30 a.m. Where you have the Christmas praise and prayer. Then the spread Christmas cheer, children games and stuff, as you mentioned with the face painting. And judging starts at 3. And also a section where fungi music, Christmas music.
Yes, so we have the razor blades coming in. So we're really happy about that. And they will be playing traditional Christmas music for the BVI, obviously.
And I also see there's an open mic competition.
Yes,
is this a competition?
Oh, it's not a competition. No, it's not a competition. Okay. We're just inviting persons who would like to maybe tell stories about what happened in their country, in the BVI, a poem. But we are inviting persons to also register for that by calling 494-4600 because, we just want to schedule that a little bit. But if I could talk about the mini concert, I think.
Sure, of course.
So I'm really excited about that. There's a small entrance fee of $5 for adults and $3 for children. Any child that is under 5 is free. So we have a little mini concert, and we're really excited about that because we have some local celebrities. We have Darnell Sanderson, Onique, and AIM, and we also have Kilva Nisbet. Now you would know Darnell Sanderson. He was the first Gen Y Factor winner. Onique started AIM, which is always in music, a platform for artists to express themselves through music. And Kilver, he's a worship leader. So really excited about, those are just some of the artists that we have lined up, but really excited about that aspect of it. And you mentioned earlier about the praise aspect. So we have Miss Kelinda Rogers, Minister Kelinda Rogers from the New Life Baptist Church. She will be conducting the praise and worship segment to open up the event.
And just to wrap it up, because we have a minute left, there's a parade of Caribbean nations with national.
Yes,
let's speak about that briefly.
Yes, that's another awesome. Well, that's going to drop the curtains for us. We want persons to come in their national wear, and we're going to march around the track in there, and we're going to sing carols and Christmas carols and songs as we do that, and that basically concludes the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much, Mrs. Leonard, for your time. Obviously informing the people of this great event coming up this the 19th of December at the Queen Elizabeth II Park. Admission $5 for adults, children $3, children under 5 years old free. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Happy Thursday, everyone. Have a great evening.